Cleopatra VII, the last Ptolemaic ruler of Egypt, was born in 69 BC. She entered a world of immense wealth and power. Alexandria, her birthplace, was a cultural beacon. It housed the renowned Library of Alexandria. Cleopatra descended from Ptolemy I Soter. The Ptolemies embraced Egyptian customs and claimed the title of pharaoh. Cleopatra grew up in a blend of Greek and Egyptian cultures. She received an unparalleled education. Her early life prepared her for future challenges. The Ptolemaic dynasty, renowned for its splendor, was plagued by internal strife. Power struggles and conspiracies were common. Cleopatra witnessed the fragility of her family's power. Her father fled Alexandria in 58 BC. He sought refuge in Rome. Cleopatra and her brother Ptolemy ruled in his absence. Intense rivalry marked their regency. The struggle for dominance often escalated into conflict. Rivals vied for control of the throne. Egypt faced growing pressure from Rome. Rome saw Egypt as a vital source of grain. Roman influence grew stronger. Roman merchants became powerful. Julius Caesar gained a foothold in Egyptian affairs. Caesar arrived in Alexandria in 48 BC. He recognized Egypt's strategic importance. Cleopatra sought Caesar's support to regain her throne. Their meeting changed history. Cleopatra's alliance with Caesar was pivotal. Cleopatra's encounter with Julius Caesar marked a turning point in her life. It was a testament to her political acumen. She famously had herself smuggled into Caesar's presence, rolled up in a rug. This daring act, defying the orders of her brother and his advisers, demonstrated her courage and her determination to reclaim her birthright. Caesar, impressed by her intelligence, charm, and political savvy, threw his support behind her. He intervened in the Egyptian conflict, siding with Cleopatra against her brother. The resulting conflict, known as Caesar's Civil War in Alexandria, saw the Ptolemaic capital transformed into a battleground. Cleopatra, allied with Caesar, emerged victorious. Her brother, Ptolemy XIII, drowned in the Nile while attempting to flee. This victory secured her position as the undisputed ruler of Egypt. She became both queen and pharaoh, the embodiment of both Greek and Egyptian power. Her relationship with Caesar, however, transcended mere political expediency. It evolved into a passionate love affair. This relationship produced a son, Caesarion, whom Cleopatra presented as Caesar's heir. This alliance with Caesar not only secured her own position, but also offered her a chance to revive the fortunes of her kingdom. Cleopatra envisioned a future where Egypt could regain its former glory. Cleopatra, now secure on her throne, faced the daunting task of restoring order to her kingdom. Egypt needed a strong leader. Cleopatra rose to the challenge with resilience and political acumen. She consolidated power, eliminated rivals, and secured loyalty. Her charisma and intelligence were potent weapons. Cleopatra embraced her dual heritage, presenting herself as both Greek and Egyptian. She implemented reforms to revitalize Egypt's economy. However, the shadow of Rome loomed large over her reign. Julius Caesar's assassination created a power vacuum threatening Egypt. The death of Julius Caesar plunged the Roman Republic into chaos. A power struggle erupted between Octavian and Mark Antony. Cleopatra navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics. She needed to choose her allies carefully. Initially, Cleopatra remained aloof from the Roman power struggle. Her primary concern was her kingdom and her son, Caesarion. She cultivated relationships with other Eastern rulers. Antony summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus in 41 BC. Cleopatra chose to comply, marking a new chapter in her life. Cleopatra's journey to Tarsus was a spectacle designed to captivate Mark Antony. She arrived in a grand barge adorned with gold and silver, heralded by musicians and exotic perfumes. Cleopatra understood the power of image and presentation. She knew to appeal to Antony's ambition and ego. Antony was captivated by Cleopatra's beauty and intelligence. Their meeting turned into a passionate love affair. Their chemistry was undeniable, fueled by mutual ambition. Their relationship was a strategic alliance. It had profound implications for the Roman world. Cleopatra saw Antony as a powerful protector. Antony saw Cleopatra as a valuable ally. Their alliance, cemented by their twins, sent shockwaves through Rome. Octavian used their relationship to discredit Antony. He portrayed Antony as bewitched by Cleopatra. This set the stage for a final confrontation, determining the fate of the Republic and Cleopatra's kingdom. Cleopatra and Antony's union sparked controversy. Octavian discredited Antony by targeting Caesarion, Cleopatra's son, by Julius Caesar. Octavian portrayed Caesarion as a threat to his legitimacy. Cleopatra shielded Caesarion, grooming him for leadership in Alexandria. Octavian used Caesarion's parentage to fuel anti-Antony sentiment. The stage was set for a final confrontation. Cleopatra faced a conflict threatening her kingdom. Cleopatra, now firmly allied with Mark Antony, experienced a resurgence of power and influence. Antony, captivated by her intellect and charm, granted her significant territories. These included Cyprus, Crete, and parts of Syria and Lebanon, solidifying her control over the eastern Mediterranean. This expansion not only increased Egypt's wealth and influence, but also served as a testament to Cleopatra's political acumen and her ability to secure advantageous alliances. She revelled in her role as Queen of the East, embracing the trappings of power and luxury. She adorned herself in elaborate gowns and jewels, emphasizing her image as a powerful and alluring ruler. Cleopatra understood the importance of spectacle and symbolism, using them to project an image of strength, wealth, and divine right to rule. Her relationship with Antony, however, extended beyond the political realm. They shared a deep affection for each other, evident in their public displays of love and their shared intellectual pursuits. They enjoyed lavish banquets, philosophical discussions, and theatrical performances, creating a court renowned for its splendor and intellectual vibrancy. Cleopatra, always a shrewd strategist, recognized the importance of securing Antony's support for her own ambitions. She encouraged his dreams of a unified Roman-Egyptian empire, one that would rival the glory of Alexander the Great's dominion. This shared vision cemented their alliance, making them the most powerful couple in the Mediterranean world. Under Cleopatra's and Antony's joint reign, Egypt experienced a period of relative peace and prosperity. Cleopatra, a pragmatic ruler, focused on internal reforms and economic development. She implemented policies to improve irrigation, increase agricultural production, and promote trade, restoring Egypt to its former glory as the breadbasket of the Mediterranean. She also oversaw the construction of temples, libraries, and other public works, showcasing her commitment to the welfare of her people and her desire to leave a lasting legacy. Cleopatra understood that a strong and prosperous kingdom would be better equipped to withstand external threats and maintain its independence. Recognizing the importance of education and scholarship, she continued to patronize the Library of Alexandria, attracting scholars and intellectuals from across the ancient world. She herself was a renowned scholar, fluent in multiple languages and possessing a keen interest in philosophy, science, and the arts. Cleopatra's reign was a testament to her administrative skills and her ability to balance her personal ambitions with the needs of her kingdom. She understood that her power and legitimacy rested not only on military might, but also on the well-being and loyalty of her subjects. In 34 BC, Antony, seeking to solidify his and Cleopatra's hold on the eastern provinces and counter Octavian's growing influence, staged a grand ceremony in Alexandria known as the Donations of Alexandria. This event, a calculated display of power and propaganda, would have far-reaching consequences, pushing the Roman world closer to the brink of civil war. During this lavish spectacle, Antony declared Caesarion, Cleopatra's son, to be the true heir of Julius Caesar, publicly challenging Octavian's claim to legitimacy. He also bestowed upon Cleopatra and her children various territories, including Armenia, Cyrene, and parts of Syria and Lebanon, further solidifying their control over the eastern Mediterranean. This act of territorial distribution, though presented as a gesture of generosity and a celebration of their alliance, was seen by many in Rome as a direct affront to Roman authority. Octavian, a master of propaganda, seized upon this opportunity to portray Antony as a traitor, a puppet in the hands of a foreign queen. He accused Antony of plotting to move the capital of the Roman Republic to Alexandria and rule over a vast eastern empire with Cleopatra as his queen. The donations of Alexandria, though intended to strengthen Cleopatra and Antony's position, ultimately backfired, inflaming tensions with Octavian and pushing the Roman Republic closer to the brink of civil war. Cleopatra once again found herself at the center of a conflict that threatened to consume everything she had fought to achieve. The donations of Alexandria marked a turning point in the relationship between Antony and Octavian. The fragile peace that had existed between the two Roman generals shattered, replaced by open hostility and a scramble for power. The Roman world braced itself for another civil war, one that would pit former allies against each other in a battle for supremacy. Octavian, a shrewd politician, used the donations of Alexandria to his advantage, whipping up anti-Antony sentiment in Rome. He painted a picture of a decadent Antony, enthralled by the Egyptian queen, squandering Roman resources and betraying his own people. Octavian's propaganda campaign, fueled by rumors and half-truths, effectively turned public opinion against Antony and his powerful consort. Cleopatra, aware of the growing threat, urged Antony to prepare for war. She knew that Octavian, fueled by ambition and a thirst for revenge, would not rest until he had crushed his rivals. Cleopatra, drawing upon Egypt's resources, provided Antony with ships, supplies, and financial support, bolstering his forces for the inevitable confrontation. Despite the looming threat of war, Cleopatra continued to rule Egypt with her characteristic resolve. She oversaw the construction of fortifications, strengthened her navy, and secured alliances with neighboring kingdoms, preparing her kingdom for the coming storm. The Battle of Actium in 31 BC decided the fate of the Roman Republic and Cleopatra's kingdom. Antony and Cleopatra's fleets clashed with Octavian's off the coast of Greece. Cleopatra's presence was crucial but controversial. Her fleet's retreat turned the tide in Octavian's favor. Antony followed, abandoning his forces. Octavian's victory marked a turning point in Roman history. Antony and Cleopatra fled to Egypt, their dreams shattered. The shadow of Actium sealed their tragic fate. The aftermath of Actium saw Cleopatra and Antony fleeing back to Egypt, their dreams shattered. They retreated to Alexandria, seeking refuge within Cleopatra's capital. The journey back was marked by urgency and despair. Their fleet, once powerful, was now in disrepair. Cleopatra began preparations for a possible siege. She ordered the strengthening of Alexandria's defences, the stockpiling of food and supplies, and the recall of her armies. Cleopatra refused to give up hope. Antony, however, was consumed by despair. The Battle of Actium had tarnished his reputation. He withdrew from public life, seeking solace in drink, his former energy replaced by melancholy. Cleopatra remained by his side, offering comfort. She organized lavish feasts and entertainments, attempting to rouse him from despair. Their bond grew even stronger. They found solace in each other's company, their love a beacon of hope amidst the storm. As Octavian's forces advanced on Alexandria, Cleopatra proposed a bold plan to abandon Egypt and seek refuge in India or Ethiopia. Cleopatra believed their wealth and Antony's military experience could establish a new power base in the east. Antony, weary of war, hesitated, preferring to negotiate with Octavian. Their differing views highlighted the growing rift between the lovers. Despite disagreements, they prepared to depart, testing the Red Sea route to India. Octavian, determined to crush his rivals, rejected all offers of negotiation. His spies infiltrated Alexandria, sowing discord and undermining their authority. The net was closing in, and time was running out for Cleopatra and Antony. In 30 BC, Octavian's forces laid siege to Alexandria. The city, once a beacon of culture and learning, was transformed into a battleground. Cleopatra, displaying her characteristic courage, rallied her people, urging them to resist the Roman invaders. She personally oversaw the city's defences, directing the deployment of troops and ensuring the morale of her soldiers. The siege of Alexandria was a protracted and bloody affair. Octavian's forces, superior in numbers and equipment, gradually tightened their grip on the city. Cleopatra and Antony, their backs against the wall, fought with the desperation of those who had everything to lose. Antony, his fighting spirit rekindled, led several daring sorties against the besiegers, achieving some initial successes. However, their efforts were in vain. Octavian's forces, relentless in their advance, gradually overwhelmed Alexandria's defences. One by one, Antony's remaining allies deserted him, convinced of the futility of further resistance. The Roman general, his hopes of victory dashed, sank deeper into despair. Cleopatra, realizing that the situation was hopeless, ordered the construction of a mausoleum within the grounds of her palace. This structure, designed to serve as her final resting place, became a refuge for the queen and her closest companions as the Roman noose tightened around Alexandria. It was within these walls, adorned with gold and precious stones, that Cleopatra prepared to meet her fate. The news of Antony's death sent shockwaves through Alexandria. Chaos reigned briefly. Soldiers wandered, uncertain and fearful. Rumors of doom spread like wildfire. Cleopatra remained a mysterious figure. Octavian entered Alexandria, consolidating power. He projected mercy and restraint, yet tightened his grip on power. Caesarion was captured and executed, his death a brutal reminder. Cleopatra was overcome with grief, her world reduced to defeat. She became a pawn in Octavian's game. Octavian, eager to savour his victory, ordered Cleopatra be brought before him. He wanted to see the woman who had captivated Rome's most powerful men. Cleopatra refused to be broken, demanding respect. She received him as a queen, not a supplicant. Octavian, impressed by her spirit, offered terms. Cleopatra, though tempted by Octavian's offer, understood the true meaning behind his words. To return to Rome as his captive would be to surrender her dignity, her legacy. She would become a symbol of Egypt's subjugation. She resolved to choose her own fate, to die a queen on her own terms. Her preparations for the journey were a carefully orchestrated charade. She sent messages to her remaining allies, seeking a way out. Her efforts, however, proved futile. Octavian's spies intercepted her messages, foiling her plans. With each passing day, Cleopatra's options dwindled. She knew that time was running out. She resolved to make her final stand, to choose a death that would echo through the ages. She chose to embrace the ancient rituals of her ancestors. She would not give Octavian the satisfaction of seeing her paraded through the streets of Rome in chains. She would die a queen, her death a final act of defiance. Cleopatra, facing capture, chose to die by an asp's bite. Cleopatra's death sent ripples through the ancient world. Octavian sought to control the narrative, portraying her as a cunning temptress. He ordered her images destroyed, her name erased from monuments. But Cleopatra's legend endured, too compelling to be silenced. Her story fascinated and inspired poets, playwrights, and artists. Cleopatra became a symbol of feminine power and ambition, her legacy forever entwined with the sands of time. Cleopatra's reign marked the end of an era, the final chapter in ancient Egypt's history. Her death, a defiance against Rome, echoed through time. She was the last pharaoh, embodying Egypt's rich heritage. With her passing, a new era began, dominated by Rome. Yet Cleopatra's legacy endured. The Romans tried to erase her significance. They painted her as a cunning seductress. But her story resisted time's erosion. Her name became synonymous with a bygone era. Her story evolved into a timeless tale. The echoes of Cleopatra's reign endured. Her image, preserved on coins and ruins, reminded of Egypt's past. She became a symbol of national pride, a rallying point for Egypt's former glory. Cleopatra's legacy has been shaped and reshaped over the centuries, often distorted by those who sought to control her narrative. Roman historians painted her as a treacherous seductress, emphasizing her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. This image of Cleopatra as a femme fatale has persisted for centuries. However, this portrayal ignores the complexities of her life and reign. Cleopatra was a shrewd politician, skilled diplomat, and capable administrator. She ruled Egypt as a pharaoh, fighting to preserve its independence. Cleopatra understood that knowledge was power. She was fluent in multiple languages and well-versed in philosophy, history, and mathematics. She assembled a court renowned for its intellectual vibrancy. Cleopatra was a patron of the arts and sciences. Reducing Cleopatra to a mere object of desire does a disservice to her legacy. She navigated Roman politics with remarkable skill and determination. Cleopatra was a queen, a mother, a scholar, and a visionary leader. She fought to preserve her kingdom's independence in the face of overwhelming odds. Cleopatra's story, much like ancient myths, continues to resonate across centuries. Her image, reinterpreted in art, literature, and film, symbolizes feminine power, ambition, love, and tragedy. From Shakespeare's Queen to Elizabeth Taylor's icon, Cleopatra's story finds new meaning in every generation. What captivates us about Cleopatra's story? Perhaps her determination to chart her own course in a male-dominated world, or her intelligence and political acumen. The tragic beauty of her story reminds us of the fleeting nature of power and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Cleopatra's legacy stands as a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Her story, like the eternal flow of the Nile, continues to captivate and inspire. And